So in this video, I'm gonna go over some of the status screen here to help you see what's happening in the control system. I'm gonna start here because this video was shot after. If you see the playlist, there was another video that I show how we can replace an output module, and I pulled the module out in a real live hot situation and put it back in. Right. So in the process of that, I intentionally caused the Modbus failures. So I'm going to jump into this screen to show you. You watch the beginning of the video. There was 3, and then 2, and then 1. Right. This is Modbus error. Right. So it shows how many Modbus error has it seen in the last minute and in the last hour on average. So before I go detail, I was going to catch it before this number goes away. You see, went down to 0 because the time has elapsed already. But this count here and that count shows the number of error you see in the bus. Typically, they all should be 0, right? So if you see some numbers on here, that means there's some kind of noise in the system. I would check the grounding, check the wiring, check any interference that affect the communication on the bus. Either could be this Modbus on COM2 or that Modbus on COM1. Everything can relate it to it. These are Modbus error, right? In the last hour, last minute. Okay. Typically you come in, you see this is the home screen. If I press left 1, you see this screen here. That is how long the system has been up. This unit here been up for 4 hours. If I reset the controller or if I pull the power, then you see that number, it will start over and it will, so this is the uptime. So this is the cloud connection status. It matches with the A here, green A light, that means it's connected to the cloud, connected, and it's connected to our server MQ03, okay, which is good. A brand new controller, you might see 00. That means not connected to the right cloud yet. You want to see 03 there. This configuration, we have several copies of the configuration and system. Right now, it's usually number 1. Typically, you don't need to get into that too much. That number 7, meaning ever since this unit was reset to factory default, then that number 7 is the number of reset that it has seen. Okay, so I can reset this. If I go recycle power here, then that number will go up from 7 to 8. Right. So sometimes you see 4 hours, but you don't, or you see 5 minutes, but you don't know how many times has it been reset like that. That's a count that will tell you. Here, the expansion board 505. This setup has 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. They are working. Yeah. If there are intercontroller communication, but what that means is if you have a weather station and the weather station would broadcast the weather station data from what we call the gateway unit, and weather station get broadcast on COM3. So right now this data here come in on COM2, right? So I can take this outside temp humidity here, pass it to the next unit by connect this COM3. I have put another COM module in here, and this would go to another COM3. And what you see here, you would see the letter IC would pop up. If IC is capitalized, that means this unit is sending out the weather station data. If you see a lowercase IC here, then that means this unit is a slave controller and it will receive the weather station data. Okay, so for weather station broadcast receive, you would see the IC here, either capitalized or lowercase. And then if you have a COM key here, you need one, then you see the light flashing every so often. And obviously you need a wire from this unit to the next unit. Firmware, this unit here has 1.17.226 firmware. The firmware can upgrade with the USB or from the cloud. And that line that bounces back and forth, that's what we call a heartbeat signal. meaning this controller is everything's running. If that thing stop, then it means something's wrong. This is stuck. Okay, and this is the IP address for this unit. And this comes from the router on the network. Modbus is 505. The other place that you want to see in here is if I go to here, expansion board menu, go here, board 1. Right, you see there's good here. If I highlight it, I go board 2. It's also good. Status communication good. Right, on common address 129, up 1, 3, 134 is also good. 4. It's also good. 135, 5 BTH, right? On COM2, that's this guy here, 130, and it's also good. Okay. Another place good to look at is if you go to system setup, you go to scan move, right? You see 1, 2, the same boards, 3, 4, 5. Right. I'll shoot another video explain what all this symbol here means. But in this case here, it just look at the 0 here, right? Or the letter O, meaning it's been scanned and things are working. If I press the right button, board 1, board 2, I press the right button. Okay, so here you will see right, some status information here. Right, this is number of packets sent, request received. You kind of see every so often, right? You want to see the same number run across. And over here, these are timeout or CRC error. Right, any error would show up over here. Right, so the good sign, you can hear you hear click here, right? So it's data being sent and received. Okay, that's these two boards. If I go down, these 3 again, press right. You see 6 coming out, 2, 1. See all the numbers are the same. That's good, right? Okay. Yes, right. So, right, 7 requested, 7 was sent, 7 was received. All right. So this is another place for you to look at. If you see all 0 here and it never changed, that means there's no communication to that card, to this card here. Okay, so that's a quick just overview on how to troubleshoot the communication on this unit. The other place you look at these things and you look at the light here, maybe it's hard to see in the video, but you see it flash a little bit. Now, some of the older module, you might see where the lights are reversed. So we don't have too many of those anymore. Most of them should be like this, where, every time data transmit, it turns on briefly, right? So typically, if you see it go solid, that means somebody is communicating, is holding on to the line. Then you see that, and the red light will be on, and you go here, right? Instead of 505, you would see like 405 or something like that. Okay, that means there's communication on the bus somewhere. Something is wrong. Then usually you have to go in here and rescan what's going on. Yeah. We highly suggest that when everything's set up, you want to save the configuration here, save all the setting here. And I can shoot a video to show how that's done later. Or by the time you watch it, the probably video is already there. So just look for a video about saving, restoring configurations.